This is a
Good time, Charlie?
production.
Hello, it's Krème party of 3, one last time for the big brunch. I am your hostess, Nick Jew. With me, as always, are the homies. That's Ant.
Hello.
That's T.
I'm here.
And we have the final episode, episode 8, season 1 of the big brunch, entitled The Big Pitch.
Finally, a man can breathe easy now that y'all know what I've known the entire time.
And probably what I've known since about episode 3, if I'm being wholly honest. So there's orchids on everybody's station as a nice gift to them. Orchid is a terrible gift to give somebody. Them flowers gonna fall off before the end of the day. Don't ever give me no orchid unless you want me to kill it.
Oh my God.
I Danielle had her arms and her back out.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Her arms was the co-host of the show today. Her she was looking lean and mean.
Whenever I see somebody cooking with their arms out, all I think about is like imaginary underarm dandruff going in their food when they stir it.
Whereas all I was thinking about was the fat popping and ketchup slipping.
Right. I mostly noticed her back being out later in the show when somebody hugged her and he like felt her skin and immediately pulled his hand back. I was like, you wasn't expecting nudity.
She must have been
in the goddamn kitchen.
Oh my God. What did I write down? I wrote Sola looks amazing.
She did look great.
I
loved that dress.
That dress and them heels and everything. I was like, her eyebrows is really on point too, because they gave her a little. I was like, damn, they really put you on this week, girl.
I do prefer Sola in glasses, and I also just love her hair, like straight, just the straight bob. It's like the way she looked in that first episode was so perfect to me.
I am very partial to a comfortable woman.
Yes.
I love when she's and like her jeans and like but that's the way I was introduced to her. So
that's really enlightening because I'm always struggling with why men only talk to me when I look crazy as hell in public.
I mean, crazy to some might be just like knowing that a person is relaxed is a great.
That's it, really. That's probably it. Truly. Yeah. We can talk about that on the Love podcast. But for now, we'll go back to the brunch. So Daniel says that he is a different person than he was when they started, but he's like 22. He's going to be a
26.
different person. 26.
Relax.
Oh, I went younger on purpose.
Called him a baby.
That's exactly what I called him. He's younger. Even at 26, he's younger than like all my nibblings, except for one. So Danielle monikered herself a baker with the big dogs. It's still interesting to me because I pegged her going pretty far, but only like maybe 4 episodes in. And once she really got her confidence of like being a baker not being a detriment to her in this competition is when she really soared, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I got it playing right here on the iPad just so I can look down. And yeah, they just showed a shot and her back is all the way out.
Her back is out.
All the way. And her Spice Girl little romper. It's a cute romper. I wrote that down. I like Jay's shirt until just now. I like Jay's shirt on the TV here on this iPad. I'm like, that's a jean shirt? I'm not feeling that.
A jerk. The thing that I do not like about Jay's look is that she don't tuck the shirt in.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. That's that. I'm gonna go with tomboyish nature.
Yeah, but I follow. Not to
I'm
give
not.
anything away about me, I follow several masculine presenting women, and I don't see them doing that.
Maybe it's the Canadian. You know, what I'm saying what is that called? It's called a Canadian tuxedo. We put it on.
That's a whole jean outfit.
I'm saying we're gonna put this on. We're just gonna put this off on Canada and call it a day.
I like the look though. I think it's super dapper. I love when a woman wears a tie. It struck me as curious throughout the entire competition. She just never tucked her shirt in.
Yeah.
So it's
I
a
just saw,
choice.
and I just saw now that her tie is not properly under her collar. I would never.
I mean, on this last episode, we can just write her off as just awkward in every facet.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like the tie is too big for the collar. It's like poking out a little bit at the bottom.
I could have fixed that, and trust me, I done taught so many at this point, so many children. That's just not even my own how to tie ties.
Right.
It'd be going
And I'm
down
not
out
even
there.
like a fashion plate, but a French tuck, like tuck one of the things in the front. It's just real intentional to have a tie. To be a tie like finishes a look. And so a tie with an untucked shirt, it just jumps out at me. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that lady alone.
Last one. Hold on. And Daniel, look like he dressed to go to Sunday school. That's all I wrote down. I want y'all to know.
But he's wrinkled. Dan is just about not just about cooking, but also why your business deserves $300,000. And so they follow him after some discussion into the dining room to reveal they have been paired with mentors. They clearly know who these people are. Did y'all know who any of these people were before their introduction?
That the one guy, of course, the black guy, I knew who he was.
I don't think I've heard of him.
If you haven't watched, on the same network is the cooking show with Selena Gomez.
Oh no, I'm not.
I can't talk. I can't say how great that show is. One, I wasn't like a fan of Selena Gomez before I started watching, and it's just like, imagine every episode like a chef is walking her through a recipe, and the whole time they're concerned she's going to cut her hand off. That's what every episode is like.
Yeah,
and it's Nick, please watch this.
No, I don't. You can't talk me into it. I know myself well enough to know that if the main person is somebody I'm not a fan of, I'm really not gonna suffer through multiple episodes of a thing. I just tried it with the Fleischman show, and it was a horrible experience for me until the last 2 episodes.
I have to finish that because I enjoyed that book somewhat. So
I heard the book was great. I heard the book was really good. Yeah, you will. I trust your opinion about television, but you will never sell me on a Selena Gomez show. Only Murders has been a challenge for me.
Oh wow! So to make a long story short, he was on one of the episodes.
Gotcha.
And then I see he was also like on some Food Network show I've seen before, but like I'm familiar with his story.
He looks vaguely familiar to me, but not enough that I was like, oh, I know JJ.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, he's just one of the dudes that'd be like, oh yeah, that was good, dog. but never has his own show.
Right.
I'm playing it down a little bit, but yeah, he's I like his story.
I have everybody's little titles here. They had things to say about him that I found very interesting. So they've all been paired with a mentor that specializes in their field. Danielle has been paired with Callum Franklin, who's from London, a pastry expert who created the Pie Room. Daniel paired with JJ Johnson, a James Beard award-winning chef, author, and community leader from Harlem who specializes in turning pop-ups into brick and mortar. And then Jay was paired with Shirley Chung, who is the Los Angeles dumpling queen, also an author. So it seems like very perfect pairings. They get, so the final brunch is 3 to 5 dishes or items that sell their brand and their business plan. So they get 1 hour to just coordinate with the mentors. So Jay, her statement that she made last week that I was totally offended by, she reworded it this week to something that was more sensible. She said, cooking my culture's food is my connection to my ethnicity.
It was probably, I don't know, there certainly wouldn't have been enough time to have said, hey man, that didn't sound good. But I'm glad she maybe thought about it, you know?
Because she said it with full conviction, like, really, this food is the only thing that reminds me that I'm Chinese. With her whole chest, she said that. So the judges are discussing, basically just patting themselves on the back for how perfectly well they paired everybody with their mentors, which is interesting to me, right? Because do they pair everybody from the beginning with somebody and just have that person on standby on the chance that this person makes it to the final 3? How does this work? The final 4 or 5 people they've got like in the hopper? Because you've got to prepare, especially like a dude who's from London.
Yeah.
Good question.
I wonder how long is it between each episode?
It's probably like a couple days. And they probably film over 2 days and then go right back at it. I don't know. So they get 4.5 hours for their final cook. And we get a story from Jay about her experiencing some really awful, blatant racism via the form of graffiti when she was a young person living in Canada, and how that has come full circle to her being in this moment, having the confidence that she needs to go on and do whatever her business is. Because the first was a cookbook.
I wanted to wait till we got to this part, but come on, bruv. Come on, bruh. You just changed your whole idea
In the 11th hour.
And basically bit old girl's ideal fully.
Once again.
And they knew it too. They knew it. They smelled that shit right out. And I was like, y'all know it. And I know it. So I don't have to feel bad. Like y'all not sitting here like, oh, hey, good. Y'all was like, oh, really? Well, that's been there this whole time.
So she comes to the competition already as a business owner. Jae Chong Eats. She's got a pretty successful dumpling business already. But she came to the competition to get the capital to write her cookbook.
Not knowing that's not how cookbook writing goes.
Right.
So you say you want to write a cookbook, and I'm not saying she didn't want to write a cookbook. I'm saying if you want to do that, maybe know what's involved with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the old girl did put her on. Was like, well, yeah, you don't got to have money for that. They give you money for that.
Right.
You'll be straight. And she's like, oh,
right.
Yeah, bruv. You got to know that. Go into this with the wisdom.
If anything, it's expand my dumpling business. Like, word. Yes. Makes
Easy
sense.
As that.
Yet again, another point in the awkward column for her. That she didn't know exactly what she wanted to do.
It's also too, like, if you struggle with identity issues, having enough confidence to be like, I'm super good at this thing. I think that's kind of the privilege that someone like Danielle is afforded for never having to struggle with something like her identity or having her whole self be connected to her ethnicity in this way. She was just like, Grandma Rosemary's Biscuits, and like, sky's the limit. And whereas Jay is like an adult still struggling with who she is. So it doesn't surprise me that she had issues with like what she wants to do. So JJ sorry. The mentors are go back after they've consulted with everybody. They go through their ideas. I won't talk through that because we'll get to it in the food. But the judges, when the mentors come back, the judges were super worried of like, are they going to embarrass us because they have a little PTSD from the last time somebody was there and the whole crew shot the bed basically. So JJ refers to Daniel as Sweet Daniel, which I thought was adorable. And Will, basically, because he's the business guy, questions whether or not Daniel, at the tender age of 17, has the business acumen to run a restaurant. And, but he runs a pop-up, which is similar in nature to a full-fledged restaurant. And everybody, specifically JJ and especially Sola, has concerns about Danielle making fresh soba noodles, which I don't know what that entails, but with like an hour left, Daniel was still like, oh, it only takes 45 minutes to make these noodles. I'm chilling until he wasn't.
Until he wasn't.
So Jay's mentor says that she's making 3 dishes and they seem pretty solid. Dan said she shines when she adds her spin to a dish, but Shirley was concerned about the XO sauce execution, as was Sola, which led me, because this is like the first of maybe 4 mentions about the difficulty of XO sauce. So I was like, what is XO sauce?
So let us go visit the good people at Serious Eats. This is Sasha Marks on the byline. XO sauce, there's a recipe, but also I just want to know a luxurious flavor bomb condiment rich with dried seafood and cured ham. And they have a little card here that says why it works. Dried seafood, smoky ham, soy sauce, and oyster sauce pack this good on everything condiment with deep umami notes. Steaming the dried scallops in the microwave after rehydrating them makes them tender. Shallow frying the ingredients in stages keeps them from turning into a homogeneous dry paste. Fresh and dried chilies bring a balanced heat to the sauce, tempered by a touch of sweetness from brown sugar. This is these will definitely be in your show notes because this is a lengthy article about XO sauce. I'm still scrolling, y'all. I'm not joking.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I can understand why it must have they were like, nah, this ain't hitting like this, because it's here. Just ingredients we'll go over. Right. Dried shrimp, dried scallops, garlic cloves, shallots, ginger, chili peppers, vegetable oil, a specific type of ham, Genoa ham, Thai chili, so more chilies, Shaoxing wine, chicken broth, oyster sauce, soy sauce, brown sugar, and 2 whole star anise pieces. And you gotta bring that all together into, like I said, a condiment. That sounds like a meal. You know what I'm saying? That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can understand why they was like, no, bro, that XO sauce ain't the breeze. So
then Sola and Dan do the walk around. Did y'all know that Daniel was the youngest chef there?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you know that Daniel was the youngest chef in the competition?
I had heard word of that, and also had heard, I don't know if you heard, you know what I'm saying, that he's self-taught.
That was my next question. If you knew that he was self-taught.
Oh my God.
Sweet Daniel has struggled with loving himself and feeling good enough, which breaks my heart to hear. Danielle was worried that her cinnamon rolls weren't risen enough. So at the beginning, she was talking about the complexity of this cinnamon bun dough. Out of all the doughs that she had to make, it has to rise twice. So she needed to make that first because of the first proof. And then after you roll it and stuff it and whatever, it has to prove yet again. And so after that second rise, she was slightly concerned about that. So Jay talked about how her XO sauce takes a lot of time. And this is when I was like, but don't they have 4 hours?
I mean, You just heard that recipe. Let's see.
Yeah.
They usually give you a like on Serious Eats. They usually give you an idea of how long it would take you to make it. So let's scroll back down to this recipe. You know what? It says right here: 10 minutes of prep, 55 minutes to cook, but
I
60
guess.
minutes 60 minutes of soaking time for the things that need to be rehydrated.
Yeah.
So there's where it starts. It starts okay. Oh, so yeah, total time to make this condiment, 2 hours 5 minutes.
And I guess it's like if that a lot of that is active cooking, like stirring and watching a pot, I can see that because she has so
Yeah,
many other elements to also make.
yeah.
Sola doesn't think Jay's business plan is strong. Sola is not the only one.
It is
Uh,
non-existent. So no, it's not strong at all. I think everybody agree. Like her mentor was like, you don't really know what you're talking about, do you?
yeah.
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 So
So then they're coming down to the last. Everybody's chilling while Dan and Sola do the walkthrough. Everybody seems to have everything timed out. Everything's great. Daniel even he's like, oh, I only need about 45 minutes to do these soba noodles, and then the shit just hits the fan.
yeah, which I just third week in a row where my man just this is like, oh, I'm fucking up.
His bamboo steamer caught on
Caught on fire.
fire.
Yeah.
Fire. It's like, yeah, sir, you are self-taught because you over here burning down your kitchen.
Yeah. You gonna soak nothing or something.
Also, I wouldn't have helped him.
So honestly, I wrote that in my notes, and I'm just gonna pull up what I wrote down because I was kind of taken aback by it.
Danielle is
Here it is.
making like six different breads, and you gonna
Yeah,
like I can help you for a few minutes. No, you
they are.
can't.
I'm saying they are all helping Daniel, seemingly to the detriment of themselves. And I'm like, I get it. That's very sweet of y'all, but this the final. Everything got to be so on point, and if he fucking up, let him fuck up.
He don't won best in brunch 3 times. I'm not helping you win.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay. So we're going to the dishes unless y'all have anything else to say about the pre.
I was sad that both the Asian kids got jacked up relationships with their parents. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's fucked up, man. We can't play sweet, we can't play cool.
And for
And
two like different reasons, but like equally heartbreaking reasons.
exactly, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, man. That bothered me, and I had wrote that down to share with y'all because I don't know. Y'all my folk.
And anything else about the before the meals come out?
No, I think you guys covered it very well.
So Jay made pork and lapchung dumplings with a chili tamari sauce. Tamari?
Tamari sauce. Let's pull that one up. What is tamari sauce? It's about the good people over at Pioneer Woman. This is Kara Zauberman on the byline. And apparently it's great for dipping dumplings. What's the difference between tamari and soy sauce? Tamari and soy sauce look similar, but they're made in different ways, and the ingredients used in each are different too. Soy sauce is made from a combination of soybeans, wheat, and salt, which are brewed together and left to ferment. The mixture is pressed to release the liquid soy sauce. Tamari, on the other hand, is the liquid byproduct that forms when making miso paste, a savory paste
Mm.
made from fermented soybeans. While soy sauce contains added wheat, tamari has little or no wheat, which is why tamari is a great option for anyone who's gluten free.
Mm.
Again, that'll be in your show notes. Worry not. All these things we chitty chatting about, I got you. I'll have you the links right there.
So
It'll say
pork
tamari sauce, and you can click on
and I skip right over lapchung. But I guess I didn't care too much about what that was. I'm like, sure. Pork and lapchung dumpling with chili tamari sauce, duck with taro puree and date, hoisin sauce, exo sauce congee with seared scallops, black vinegar brined celery, and orange supremes, she said.
Lapchung is a traditional Chinese pork sausage.
Oh.
It's a German
Uh,
sausage, right?
It does look, yeah, it does.
oh.
It does look a little like in that vein as I look at pictures of it.
One of the places I get from over here puts it in their fried rice. Sola it said it was a delicious dumpling. She was glad with the decisions she made. The duck was perfectly cooked, but it was one note. So Jay's sales pitch is she wants to hire 2 people to make and ship dumplings nationally. I wrote, "This is new." Dan, Will said, when you have an idea you believe in, pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much all of the feedback they gave her. Daniel did his pitch first. He wants to bring people to his restaurant and not build where people already are. So, like, I know exactly where he's talking about. There's like not in Richmond, I'm saying, like, that part of town where there's the hot downtown area. And then 2 or 3 blocks away is the other part of town where it's more like locals go there. And it's kind of that if you build it, they will come mentality.
Yeah.
So he wants to be kind of an incubator for other restaurants. It makes sense. There's a huge move of these like ghost kitchens happening right now. And because he comes from a pop-up background, he wants to create an established restaurant and then also give opportunities for other up and coming people. Sounds like a great pitch.
It was a pitch perfect pitch.
Mm-hmm.
He came out there and did everything. And then at that point, because of course, I know, I'm just like, yeah, I could exactly see why now. You came out there and did that, and I was like, that was spot on, bruv.
And
especially especially following Jay's utterly awful presentation.
Yes.
It's exactly what the world needs and wants to hear about not only like showcasing your talent, showcasing your background, but also something to help not only yourself but others. So he had the perfect pitch.
Yeah, leaving space for other people. Like I'm saying, a pop-up incubator is a smart-ass idea, like Nick was just pointing out.
And he, on his grown man to service, was like, I don't want to bring any dishes out right now. And went out there and did his fucking pitch and then came back with the food. Smart.
Correct.
Smart. Daniel made Sonomo cucumber salad marinated in ponzu over yuzu koshu aioli, topped with horseradish and lemon zest. My first response to this was like, a cucumber salad? But
ponzu do be kind of. I'm almost positive we had it at one of these spots we used to go to downtown, but that don't mean it's true. I just believe it. Mm-hmm. But this is a Japanese citrus sauce, tangy, umami-rich Japanese dipping sauce. Uses a marinade for dipping, sprinkling all over your food, vinaigrette, salad, stir fry. Ponzu is doing some effort here, so I wouldn't doubt mix that in with them cucumbers.
And I imagine he probably made that aioli from scratch. Like I would hope he didn't open a jar of mayonnaise and pour yuzu shit on it.
You know what though? What's that Japanese mayo, Aunt?
I forgot, but the little rubber bottle.
QB.
With the it's basically mayo with added MSG. It kind of worked. I mean, I guess you could make your own aioli and sprinkle some MSG in it, but I'm just saying, if he didn't make it from scratch, but he used a higher end, mayo aioli situation, I wouldn't be mad.
He used dukes.
With horseradish and lemon zest. And then a chawan mushi, which is steamed egg custard, concentrated dashi, dry fried scallops, green onion, garlic, sesame oil, and seaweed, and chicken katsu, which is chicken breast with curd gravy, started with a milk chocolate roux, with charred apples, onion, ginger, garlic, and rice.
Y'all ever had a savory custard? I don't know if I've had that.
I have not.
Yeah, I was very like, okay.
Wouldn't I made you? Well, I brought some to you a long time ago when I made an egg. I'm not an egg. Corn souffle. So That's
In that vein?
Oh,
yeah. It's like
Okay.
it's like souffle is pretty much a custard, but but I just use corn and cheese and
Mhm.
eggs and a little
Okay.
flour.
And
So
I used to get chicken katsu from that one Japanese spot we used to go to. So
Ticket to
that was my shit.
Tokyo.
No, well, yes, there too.
Yeah.
But the other one that to replace Noodle Cat.
Oh yeah. That's It's one over. I forgot about that place. This one. I'm near two of them. I need to
Nice.
go to that. Go there more.
Dan said, your food is next level delicious. Oh, sorry. I skipped everybody. Sola asked about the soba noodles, and he said he ran out of time. He forgot to mention that he almost burnt the fucking kitchen down.
I mean, they
Uh,
saw it, so.
Sola said that was for the best because she was very worried about that. She thought that the chawanmushi was overcooked, but she didn't care because the dashi was so flavorful, and she's going to be thinking about the curry in bed because it's so good. Will, it's just delicious. Dan said, your food is next level delicious. You have star power. He
Hmm.
explained, could Dan ask, he was like, this is the first time I've ever asked you this, but what is young mother? He explained it. I still don't get it.
I think basically he was born to a young mother that he don't even get to talk to no more. That's all I can take from it. And
Yeah.
I think that's his thought process on it. Like that's cool, bro. It's a
At
dope
this,
name. Just say that shit. It's a dope name and
right.
it worked.
Young
Yeah,
mother,
I like
baby.
it. Yeah, I like it. At this point, I put my pen down because I was like, oh, I'm done taking notes. They're done. And I was like, oh, Danielle haven't gone yet. But I mean, like, it was pretty clear to me by now who the winner was going to be. So
I
then
can't, you know,
Danielle, oh,
I
go ahead.
knew that I knew that, but honest to God, Danielle really kind of pitched a perfect game. She
She
just went
really
up against
did.
a better player. So
The interesting thing about Danielle is her mentor advised her to do stuff she's already done. The
yeah,
judges had slapped her on the hand for not doing shit that she's already done. And then one judge, Sola, reprimanded her for doing shit that she's already done. So she was kind of in like a lose lose situation, in my
Hmm.
opinion. This was the first time that I noticed the name of her business, the Hungry Gnome, and
yeah.
it's been the first time I really understood what it is a wholesale bakery. So she sells her baked goods to other like restaurants. So she doesn't have a brick and mortar. And we also discussed earlier, we found out she rents a commercial kitchen. She doesn't have like an actual place to run her business.
Pretty
Um,
much a ghost kitchen as well. Pretty much because she spoke about how she's sharing the kitchen and that's a difficult part of the business and that's why she wants to expand.
right. And I imagine for a bakery, they either bake like super late at night or, as my people will say, faux day in the morning. So she's able to probably share that kitchen with some other restaurant because she up out of there by probably like 9 o'clock in the morning. But still, be nice to have her own space. I her business called the Hungry Gnome, and she presented a plate of breads and she called them her babies.
Yeah.
And Will advised her to raise money, but not to think small. And a lot of the way that they were talking to her was very much like, you already doing this. You already got it, but you just need to
Mhm.
get more money. Like basically the little $300,000 we were going to give you is not enough. You need like a financier.
Yeah.
She might have got one in her mentor because he was super impressed with her. He was like, she
He was
sold
on it.
me. Yeah. So
So
she, uh huh.
no, I was just gonna say she just needs more capital than 300 grand is gonna do.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
She made a blueberry white chocolate scone, her rosemary honey biscuit, which we've seen before, the blueberry crumb sour cream muffin, which is her best seller, a
It
pumpkin
sounds so good.
spice. Yeah, it sounds so good. A pumpkin spice muffin, which is a seasonal flavor, and the star of the show for one of the judges, but not the other, and Will didn't really say much about it. The PB and
Seven
J
Louis.
marshmallow fluff cinnamon bun.
I feel like that's one step too far.
The
I don't want
marshmallow fluff.
I don't want the marshmallow fluff on that.
I
That's
don't
just
want
not my
any
vibe.
of it. I would have been happy with the Nutella John or whatever it was. Sola said it was a bold choice to give us things we've had before. And she preferred the last cinnamon bun. She was like, if you're going to give us stuff that you've already given us, it better be better. And Dan strongly disagreed with her. And he was like, this cinnamon bun is one of the greatest things I've ever had in my fucking life. Like he was
Did he
having a
say
religious experience.
what did he say? It was erotic. One of them words.
Yeah, he was
He
like,
was
this
moist.
is yeah, he was like, this is one of the greatest things I've ever eaten in my motherfucking life.
I love when he disagrees with Sola. I love when he's like, no. He's only done it like a couple times. It was like when
The
they were talking about the
poutine.
poutine, and he was like, no, this is good.
Because that's his expertise, right? That's his subject matter expert. Like, I am a motherfucker who likes to eat food, and this food was delicious to me.
Yeah.
So all right. So they put the partition down one last time, had a discussion talking about Jay first. Sola said she lacked focus and she only really liked two of the three things. Dan, who said he has a bleeding heart for Jay, which we all know, he said she should have focused on dumplings. It makes so much fucking sense. If you in the 11th hour change your mind and want to run a dumpling business, then give me 3-4 dumplings, baby. Let's do dim
I was just about to
sum.
say that. You stole the words right out of my mouth.
It doesn't make any sense to be like, I would like to do a dumpling business and then give you one dumpling.
You duck.
And duck.
Yeah.
Perfectly cooked duck. One note duck.
Right. Right. So Daniel, they said he was confident, showed maturity to cut the soba. Did you know he was self-taught?
I had heard rumor thereof. I'm shocked. I'm taken aback by it.
I wasn't sure if he knew. Will said he wished he would have gone more in detail with like the budget and the money part of it.
Which is the wackest shit in the world to me to say. Say, bro, that's not what this show is. Don't nobody want him sitting there saying, also, I'd like to dedicate, 1/6 of this money to do this. Nobody want that shit. That shit made whack TV. I'm glad he ain't come through with that shit. It would have been terrible.
That sounds pretentious to be like, since I know I'm going to win this money, this is how we'll allocate it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, also too, like two things. It's not Will's money, so it's not like you have to sell me as an investor. And also, he's successfully running a pop-up, so clearly he has a little bit of sense about business.
Exactly.
But Dan really liked that his restaurant is like a destination instead of something easy like adding a popular restaurant to the strip. So Danielle, Will said she needs more resources. Sola was impressed by her time management, but felt that today's menu wasn't perfect.
Which is, she literally went through like the crumb is perfect. That's perfect. Yep. She just wasn't feeling particularly the cinnamon buns. But again, like I said, that's just an opinion, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like that.
Oh, this is when Dan said the cinnamon bun was a sensual experience.
Sensual. Thank you. I knew it was some turn of phrase that was,
And he also said that he felt that Jay wasn't as prepared as the others.
I'm glad everybody noticed that. I would have felt some type of way if we all obviously saw that this was just like this kid, doing homework before the bell rings. But
copying off of somebody's paper.
Yeah, but then they didn't mention it. But they like nah, bro. This is obvious you was not on your game. So I'm like, cool. Thank you for that.
And they said something very nice to all of them, but obviously Daniel is declared the winner of the $300,000.
He was the Shabira of this fucking show.
He had a rough little start. I think he had like 2 challenges right at the beginning where he was not so good, and then he came back with a vengeance and just never took his foot off the gas.
Yeah, yeah. And it unfortunately, it has to be respected. He did the damn thing, man.
Listen, I was rooting for Antoine, so once my mans went home, I didn't care who won.
I didn't root for anybody, but I thought Danielle was going to win.
Yeah,
I think Danielle won overall, in my opinion.
I agree.
I get it; they gave him the money, but to me, it's like she got to be all on TV. They get to see what she does. Had a pretty high caliber, restaurateur be like, "Yo, that shit is doing some things. Let's talk." So I'm hopeful that she pulls through in the weather. I just was looking at her Instagram, and she is a wild 32 years old. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, these are babies, all of them children.
So pretty much, she's the Clay Aiken of this show.
Yeah, I was gonna call her the Jennifer Hudson, but yep. But Clay is more accurate because he was the number 2.
Yeah. So, but I hope that she finds much success after this. Even though y'all know I was not cool with her at the beginning.
Yeah, but I was hard on my girl at first.
You told me that who would grow on me, and by the end of you are 1,000% correct. About when it's all said and done, I was like, "Oh, you dope. I fuck with you." And it's not that I don't fuck with Jay. Jay is just cornball sometimes. A lot of times.
Jay
most of the time.
Is the Charlie Brown of the show.
I have a huge heart for her. It just frustrates me when somebody is like, my shtick is my culture. Like, no, baby, you are your thing. You are your thing. You don't have to tokenize yourself. Yeah. But we have some feedback.
We do. Man, Frank hit us up this time via email, and wrote us a little something. And Frank says, follow-up notes to the Big Brunch finale. Hello all, it's Frank again. Just sending you a final letter as you wrap up the season of the Big Brunch. Using email this time since I have loads of info to pass on.
Oh.
Just as an alert, I am assuming by now you all seen the finale, and what I will mention will have some spoilers. The thrust of my letter is follow-up info about several of the contestants, just like they do with Bake Off at the end of each season.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I will gladly take that. Before I get into that, I was curious if you guys wondered who they had in mind as mentors for Roman and Antoine. Nick, you just said that. Frank, well done, sir. Yes, we did wonder. I don't know who they would have who would have mentored these people because I don't know. I don't know what Antoine wanted to make. What did Antoine want to do? He wanted to make a school, basically, right?
Okay. He has a school already, I think. He's an educator. I think Marcus Samuelson maybe would have been a good mentor for Antoine.
Okay. Yeah, that's a vibe.
I don't know many vegan chefs.
I don't know who could have kicked it with Roman.
What's the dude who used to wear the orange Crocs?
Mario Batali, persona non grata.
Yeah, we don't mention him.
Well, they just both got ponytails, so.
Yeah, he's not going to be invited anywhere anytime soon. He's a sexual assaulter, Anthony.
That is true. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I was just leaning more towards the ponytail.
We got to find another ponytail chef.
Yeah.
Also, according to Katie, they started doing the family meal each morning because they were not happy with the craft. Really? I guess, what chef's not happy with craft, he probably makes perfect sense. Craft services were providing them. They said that's what happens when your contestants are our room full of chefs. They would use the leftovers and the leftover ingredients from the previous challenge to make the meal. They also welcome any crew members to dine with them. Very sweet.
Oh, that's dope.
Anyway, here's the post-filming updates that have been revealed since the show ended. The 10 of them have stayed close and connected. They have group chats and text chains. Kip, Katie, Jay, and Kelly had a reunion in New York with Danielle and Nadej just before the show aired. They filmed a midnight cooking session at Danielle's house where they took whatever was in her pantry, threw together something while they talked about the show. They posted that on YouTube last month. Oh, I have to dig that up. Danielle also posted a video showing everyone's reaction to the trailer. Dan Levy said everyone seems to want another season. No word on that yet. Because, of course, this Discovery HBO Max situation is messing up everybody's money. They have not greenlit season 2 of The Last of Us yet, even though it is doing amazing numbers, but whatever. Joseph Goodry was nominated for Best Direction in Reality Television by the Directors Guild of America for the Carb Bread episode. This is his 3rd consecutive year in a row he's been nominated. They also got nominated for Best TV Reality Competition Show by the GLAAD Awards. Dope.
Nice.
Katie has had the most dramatic change. They were at a very low point when they applied for the show. Thanks to their time on the show and Dan's mentoring, Katie has turned things around. They have relocated to California, gotten a position as an executive chef at the Huckleberry Bakery and Cafe, gotten sober, and has a girlfriend.
What's up?
And they are still working on their dream of a center for trans and non-binary people. Hell yeah.
Katie was my dog. I fucked with Katie.
Yeah, for sure.
They just lacked direction, I think. And seems like the show gave that to them.
Yes, much needed. Plus, you got to fuck about Ohio. And I love Ohio, but I don't want nobody to have to stay here currently. Because right now, this state is on some nonsense. I might have to leave Ohio
especially for a gender non-conforming person.
Exactly. Antoine has been using his time on the show to promote himself and his school and has appeared in several articles. Roman has mixed news. The property that houses his restaurant and garden has found a buyer. They are spaghetti bowl properties, and the deal should be finalized by the summer. The fate of one grub has yet to be determined. Well, like Nick said, it would be such good PR for you to keep a community gardening situation going, but who knows? Jay's been promoting herself with the queer press and is taking her time about the next step with the cookbook. She did a pop-up last month featuring Wu Teen. So she got her wonton poutine.
Wu fucking teen. Teen.
Hey. Anyway. Danielle has wasted no time since the show. The exposure on the show has boosted online orders of her products from different parts of the country. There have been so many order requests that she is not taking any more until February. She is currently working with a manufacturer to produce the frozen biscuits and scones and wants to focus first on the East Coast area around New York. She just signed a lease, for a manufacturing kitchen that she and her staff can have all to themselves. She signed with a literary agent to write a cookbook. See how easy that is? And is anxious to include some recipes she wished she had made on the show. She has remained in touch with Chef Callum, who we just was talking about, and he has given Danielle and her husband a standing invite to come visit him in London. Dope.
That's dope.
Also, when Dan Levy is ever in New York, she sends him 2 boxes of her pastries, and we are talking boxes that are bigger than the ones that hold a dozen donuts. Nice. So she come through with that. She come through catering my man's stay. Daniel has done a pop-up last December with his winning dishes, including the burrito. He is set to open his brick-and-mortar restaurant this summer. Excellent. Good to hear that. Kudos to all your hard work and honest, thoughtful opinions. Frank H. Frank, big baby, thank you so very much. It was good to have you jump on board toward as we started wrapping up here. And I just enjoyed what you brought, giving us. I love some background. You know what I'm saying?
Super same. And now that we're done, I can go start listening to podcasts and stuff.
Exactly. None of it, I couldn't, because like I said, the first week I had to look up stuff to try to make, our notes fulfill and end up knowing the winner off of trying to do better notes. So I've had to avoid everything about this show, trying to not get spoiled about anything else.
Well, Richmond is only a couple of hours from here, and I may have to take a little road trip to stop by Young Daniel, the self-taught chef's restaurant, once it opens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, get your young mama on, young mother. Sorry, young money,
young mama. Well, that's it. We'll be back, I'm sure, for the next go round of Bake Off.
For sure, Bake Off comes back August, September, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere in the middle of that, we'll get American Bake Off with my man Zach Cherry and Kimmy Schmidt. I know that's not a name, but it wasn't coming out the head, so forgive me. And so we will
that's a name.
Ellie Kemper.
Ellie Kemper, thank you. We will certainly be doing that. We'll make Ant host that one. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. You'll see what it's like to. My tip is captions on.
Yes. Yes. That's a standby for when I do these things. Yeah.
And the pause button is your best friend. If you pause it at just the right time, you'll get the thing on the TV and the caption telling you everything you need to write down.
Exactly.
But this has been a joy, fellas. Thank you so much for indulging me.
Got you. You know what it is.
I have been. I know, and just at the right time too, because work is about to have me getting up at ridiculous hours of the morning on Wednesday. Come here soon. Well, I have been Nick Jew. That's T.
You know it.
That's Ant.
Good night.
And I know you got some stuff to say on the back end.
Oh shit! I guess I could have prepared a little better. You know what it is. You follow us all on Twitter. You know what it is. Like I said, it's in the show notes at the bottom of the screen. All you gotta do is click on it. But I don't know why you'd call us now that the show is done. But if you wanted to, we're so inclined to call us 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. That is the show's hotline. All the shows we do, you can hit that up and be like, "Hey, I'm doing that." We have multiple texts this week for Skims. That'll be a fun one because people are now like, "What? I can text y'all?" I'm like, yes, you can, bro.
It's revolutionary.
I changed the whole game up. Nick Chu host What's the Tea? It's dope. You should be listening to it. And I host Stays Crunchy and Milk. We also host a podcast, which will be recording a new episode probably next week, but maybe 2 weeks out from today. And also I'm going to force Nick's hand on that one. She couldn't be on the last one, but she will be on this next one. That's just going to have to happen. I'll talk to you about what you have to do, Nick. Don't worry, you got this. Okay. And so worry not. Podcasting is what we do, and we're very good at it. And we will catch y'all on the flip.
Check, please.
Hot cross buns.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.